But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop. So this is my story time, The Candy Shop. Hello and welcome to The Candy Shop. I am Candace and this is The Candy Shop. It's actually Sunday tea tonight. I wanted to get on here today and talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. I actually wanted to at first talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I noticed that they didn't do a show. It didn't air yesterday. So dang it, because I wanted to do Potomac tomorrow. But I will go ahead and talk about it today. I actually took notes on the show today. It was good. It wasn't as good as yesterday's. It wasn't as good as last week's, but it was good today. So let's get right into it all. And thank you to my new subscribers. You are now sugar babies here on The Candy Shop. So thank you for subscribing. But let's talk about this. Hey, Sharon. So I'm going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. It is, if you haven't watched it, you might want to click off, but make sure you like. So spoiler alert as well. Hey, Aviel. So we're talking about Real Housewives of Potomac tonight. So let's get into it. The first thing that happened was it was the end of the drag scene where Wendy dragged, to me, she dragged or read Giselle for fifth, the last episode, and it was so good. It was really good the way that she went off on Giselle. No, I haven't seen anybody really go off on Giselle like that and her not have anything to say. So Robin's laughing. I don't know what was funny to Robin, but I'm sure her liquor was getting to her. So Robin's drunk. She's laughing. She's talking to herself. They go eat dinner. Everybody just goes on like it's business as usual. And as if they didn't experience Wendy's wrath. So that was funny to me. What was interesting about Robin, though, it was something she said, hey, real time talk 101. But Robin turns to Giselle while they're eating, and she's like, so are we mad at Ashley? And the thing is, though, why is she saying, are we mad at Ashley? Does Giselle call all the shots? Like, if you're going to be mad at Ashley, be mad at her. But Giselle was like, no, we're not mad at her, because Giselle knew she was the one. And it's a damn fly in here. Giselle knew she was the one that told Ashley to even approach Wendy. But it was funny to me that Robin is like, are we mad at Ashley? No. Giselle basically says Wendy should not be in the group if she can't take what's being said, which I think that's unfair, because a lot of times when they're asking Giselle or bringing up Giselle's life, we don't ever get to talk about it. Giselle never has to answer to anybody about what's going on with her. So I don't think that's right. So we have that scene where they're talking about Wendy, and we all hear what's said. Mia's there, Robin is there, Candace is there, and Giselle is there. And we know what was said. You said, I don't keep up, but is Monique, the former Alabama player's wife that raps part-time, still on the show? No, Monique is not on the show. Hi, the Queen of Cheesecake. Yes. So I didn't like that. It was several things. I didn't like Robin. Like I said, I didn't like Robin asking Giselle, are they mad at Ashley? And I don't like how they're saying Wendy shouldn't be there. They ganged up on Wendy, and it's like they're not admitting to that. Is Jizzy the HBIC? I don't think so. Giselle is too weak for me. This show to me has no HBICs right now. Everybody is trying to fight for it. It is between Giselle and Karen, but I don't see any of them as the HBIC because they all like fold when they're confronted. The only person that has not folded was Wendy, and Wendy like kept it all the way 100 because they attacked her personal life, which is something that should have been brought to her outside of the show and not on national television. So I definitely understand why Wendy is mad, and Wendy is like crying in her scene to Karen, and it's hurtful. I can understand why Wendy is crying because, for one, you built this relationship with these women, even though to me last season the relationship seemed fake. They bonded with Wendy because they all wanted to go against Monique. But with Wendy being new to the show, I think she should have understood that this to me, it was just temporary. Like, in watching it, their friendship seemed fake. Um, Robin is disappointed. Basically, Robin says she's disappointed in Wendy. Wendy is disappointed in Robin. They're all just disappointed. Ascala sees Robin's fakeness. I did like that about Ascala, because Ascala felt like Robin was wrong for jumping into the situation with Giselle and taking up for Giselle. Robin, that wasn't Robin's fight, but Robin like was just straight guns blazing at Giselle, which wasn't right to me. Wendy calls Eddie and she wants to catch him up on everything going on later. I wish she would have talked about it on the show so we could have got his reaction, but I understand for her. She probably, if they don't show it on the show, I can understand why she wants it to be off the show when they actually talk about it. But going to some of the next scenes, Robin calls on the next day. Robin calls Juan in the morning and they're talking. And Juan is staying at the house to keep the kids, because we all know the rumor out there is that they're not even living together. And Juan is so dry with Robin. And then he like ends the conversation like, oh, I'm getting a shape up. I got to call you back. Like, he rushes her off the phone. He doesn't want to talk to her. So, I mean, it appears that they don't even have a real relationship. I feel like Robin is playing up their situation for the show. We'll see. Tonight, it's some wine. No champagne tonight, just wine. I'm drinking it out of a straw because I don't want my lipstick on the glass. So Juan is very dry with Robin, and I think their relationship is very fake, just as fake as Giselle's relationship was with Pastor Holy Whore, as they say. Wendy, it cuts to her. She's doing, it looks like something on CNN or one of the networks. She's straight working about her business. She held it together when she was doing her little show, so she had to get with the girls later. It cuts to Giselle and everybody in the pool. Giselle talks about how she wants to have this conversation with Wendy. Giselle is interesting to me. Like, she wants to have a conversation now, but all this time she was having these conversations behind Wendy's back, when Wendy is supposed to not only be her friend, but her sorority sister as well. So Giselle, to me, that's straight fake. Like, oh, so you don't want to look like the bad person on the show. So you're going to say, oh, I want to have a conversation with her. I hope we can talk. It's all so fake to me. So we'll get to the fakeness towards the end. But Ascala like straight called Giselle out at that pool. She was like, no, you started it, Giselle. You brought it up. And Giselle was like, no, Ashley started it. I'm starting to like Ascala a little bit, because even though she's quiet, she does call people out on their stuff, and she recognizes who's in the wrong. Like, she's not afraid of saying when somebody is wrong. So I do kind of like Ascala. I was calling her Ascala like the perfume, but I'm going to call her correct name today, Ascala. Ashley is with her family. Like, it cuts to her. I seen her. I was bored with that. It cuts back to the girls, and Robin is up. She's let me guess, Giselle is an old school AKA. Yes, Giselle and Wendy are AKAs. But it cuts back to Robin. Ascala called Robin out as well and told Robin how she was wrong for her part in it. And Robin tries to basically say, well, she talked about my relationship. And so I will say this, even though I don't like Robin. I think she's a fool for following Giselle. The one thing, though, the one point that Robin has, though, is when you're in a heated argument and somebody shouts something like that about your marriage, and you were so fake with me, or you were so happy about our whole engagement before, but now you're throwing it in my face that you think our relationship is fake, that tells me you were never my friend and you were being fake. So Robin had a point there, but Robin wouldn't have got no smoke had she not said anything. But now, in that situation, if I was Robin, I would definitely see Wendy for who she is. I see you. That would be my thing with Wendy. We could be cordial, whatever, but I see you. So, but Robin explains that Giselle extends the olive branch to Wendy and asks to, because Wendy shows up, she extends the olive branch and she tells Wendy she wants to talk. Wendy turns her head, which was funny to me. And Giselle was like, I don't want to talk to braids. So that was funny. Giselle feels like Wendy is acting like they're in high school, but maybe Wendy is just not ready to talk to her. Like, some bombs were just dropped on her. She went off on them. I honestly wouldn't be ready to talk to Giselle either. I don't know if I would ever talk to Giselle because she showed me who she was. So we can say hi and bye, but we don't have to have a conversation. The fact that you didn't want to have a conversation with me prior to Ashley confronting me and prior to basically off screen would have told me enough. So nope, I'm with Wendy on that. Mia is at the pool and she talks about how they noticed her tattoo. She had a cesarean. She said her husband was really not support. Her first husband wasn't supportive for her child's birth, and he ended up bringing a PlayStation or something to the hospital. And then Robin brings up how Juan missed one of their son's births. So that's interesting to me too. So it's so weird. I know Robin and Juan have been together since they were in high school. And so it's just, I don't know, maybe their relationship has outgrown itself, but they're so comfortable with each other. They keep coming to each other, but it just really, it just doesn't seem like they were really meant to be. I know Juan's, from the show, I know Juan's parents have passed away and Robin's family kind of like took him in. I give it to Robin for saying it to Wendy's face rather than behind her back like Giselle. Yes. I respect that too. And I was shocked that Robin was able to say it to Wendy's face. So, but I just want to know, can Robin call out Giselle like she called Wendy out? Because Giselle said some crazy stuff. But yeah, Juan, going back to Juan and Robin, Juan missed the birth of one of her sons, which was not good. Candace did ask the girls to compete to be in her video, which I think this was a filler scene. All of them danced. Robin, Giselle, and Mia were a little group and they danced and they was twerking. Apparently Robin was a video vixen before. She was in Diddy's video from years back. And then Ascala and Wendy were a team as well. And they danced. All of them looked stiff. Karen got up there and danced and she won, according to Candace, this competition. But they were all stiff. I hope they just have a quick little tiny scene in the video because they weren't that interesting. But going to the next scene, the girls played tennis. And Karen, it splits between the girls playing tennis and Karen being sworn in as ambassador of her county. So I thought that was good. It was nice for her. The one thing that was interesting about Karen's being sworn in is when her husband got up there and said, are you going to talk about the other endeavors or whatever? And she was like, well, I have my candles and we're adding another wing to whatever their house is. But what was funny is the fact that she never told Wendy that she was going to have candles. And then she tried to say the difference between her candle is hers is a 3-wick and Wendy's is a 1-wick. And so hers covers more space. And I just felt like, again, that's McDonald's and McDowell's. Like, it's no different. I think Karen listened to Wendy's idea about these candles and took it and ran with it. And that's why Wendy didn't know about it, because Karen came up with the idea after she heard Wendy talking about it. And she probably was like, I'm helping her with her candles. I can have my own candle line. So that was funny to me. Hi, the real lovely C. How are you? But yeah, that was funny to me. Wendy and these candles. And her explaining it that hers is different because it has 3 wicks. That was hilarious. So we cut to the tennis court though. That was a very interesting scene as well. They played tennis or whatever, but I like when they had the discussion because Candace told Robin that she has beef basically off of association. So she has her beef because of Giselle. But Robin was like, no, she basically attacked my relationship. And so, like I said, I agree with Robin in that sense. Wendy did go for the low blow, but we know that they all knew about the allegations that were brought about Wendy and her husband. And then Robin, I know in these blogs, admitted that, well, she tried to say that the scene was edited where some kind of way or whatever, but we know Robin is lying. But Robin is trying to cover up the fact that she knew prior to that conversation that they had on the show about the husband cheating. But yeah. I like Candace. Candace was like, we don't want no green-eyed banter at this dinner, all of that, because what Giselle and Robin don't realize is that when they're together, it's like Robin is not herself. She's not an individual. It's them together. It's basically Giselle's minion. So you got Giselle, and then you got the mini me or the minion Robin coming along, and so that's not fun. It's like Mean Girls, and I'm all for. At times, I do like the whole Mean Girl thing on shows, and I know people are not gonna get along, and people will click up. But this is just, these ladies is too old to be doing all this. They're too old to be mean girls. If you're having a girls trip, just have a girls trip. But going to the dinner, and before we get to the dinner, going to the scene where the ladies are riding on the bus, it's Mia, Karen, and Wendy. Mia says that Giselle called Wendy a weak bitch, excuse my language, a weak bitch for leaving the house. And so, of course, Wendy is upset. It cuts to Giselle talking, and Giselle was like, if she's going to crumble when we have these conversations, then she doesn't need to be here. And so we all see that Giselle did not say that Wendy was a weak bitch, but I thought that was hilarious. Going to the dinner, they all look nice. But can somebody tell me what the hell Giselle had on? Because I thought Candace said no jeans. And Giselle comes in there with her jeans and this shirt while everybody is dressed cute. Even like Robin looked cute. I know on the last review that I did, I talked about Robin's braids, but she styled them a little cute. I'll give her that. It was a little cute. But yes, everybody was dressed except for Giselle. That was so odd. And it's like, Giselle knows that it's known that she doesn't dress. People off the show said, people on the show said, and then she still continues to not dress. And so I thought that was interesting. I don't know what that's about. But the dinner is that's where it gets interesting. So Robin is with the shits when they sit down at dinner, because Juan calls her and she's like, hello, non-existent husband. Is it me? I cannot stand passive aggressive people. Robin is very passive aggressive. Like, if you're mad about it, just say you're mad. Don't pick up your phone talking about, hello, non-existent husband. So I wasn't feeling it. And Juan is like, yeah, I'm going to call you back. Let me hit you back. So that was funny to me. Everybody kind of laughed. It was just so awkward at the dinner. The dinner was so awkward when it didn't have to be. It did not have to be awkward at all. Mia, when they start, well, first of all, Robin asks Wendy, is she going to ignore her like she's ignoring Giselle? And Wendy is like, great question. And so Wendy's like, no, she apologizes to Robin, which I thought was classy, even though it might not have come from a genuine place. It was still classy, because to me, I'm going to apologize. You're irrelevant to me. If it's my argument, let me go ahead and apologize. I don't have the issue with you. So bye. So Robin still stood up for herself in that sense. Like Sharon said, Robin said to Wendy's face what her issue was, and they addressed it there. Robin cuts to Robin in the confessional talking about how she doesn't believe anything Wendy says, and she don't have to. That's her right. Like I said earlier, they see each other. So they're both fake. They see each other, and we can keep it moving. Giselle. So Wendy is still upset with Giselle, and she feels like basically when Giselle comes for everyone else's relationships, no one says that. And Robin was willing to take up for Giselle instead of really just holding Giselle accountable. And I can agree with that. It was so funny to me when Mia was like, let's talk about the real issue. And so Wendy turns to Giselle and was like, I want to know why you called me a weak bitch after I left the house. And Giselle was like, what? Who said that? No, it was a Portia moment. Who said that? And so when Mia's like, you said it. And so they cut to the scene again. She talked about crumbling. Basically, Mia lied. She was like, well, take the word bitch out. It's still the same thing. And so now we see that not only can Mia not get her own life story straight, she can't even get what people are saying straight. And that's why instead of I'm glad that Wendy asked Giselle about it instead of just being upset about it and believing Mia. It's always good to go to that person and ask them. But yeah, I don't know what Mia was trying to do. Mia was being messy. I don't. It was very interesting to me. And if I was Wendy, I would continue to look at Mia sideways for that. That was funny to me. Um, Another thing that was interesting is Wendy says she felt vindicated by being with her husband that loves her and doesn't cheat on her or whatever. I thought that was all right. Karen was extra with that. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So that, yeah, I was with Giselle with that. Like, Karen, come on now. Like yeah, she said something to Giselle. Wendy did say speak her little piece. It wasn't as good as the other night, but she spoke her piece. She remained classy, and that's how the show ended. So I know they will probably have a conversation later on about it, but as of right now, Wendy didn't want to talk about it. The one thing that is interesting though is the super trailer. It looks like it's about to be a lot of mess. Robin and this relationship that she has with Juan is just, maybe this is her storyline for it to come out that they're not really together. And I know it's bad to laugh at it, but it's just crazy. So it's the Hugers getting renewing their vows. It's a lot that happens in the super trailer. I cannot wait to see the rest of the show. But tell me what you all think. So that was like 20 minutes. I feel like I talked so fast. I gave a full review off of my notes of what I thought of the show. I think that it's gonna definitely get good. I am starting to like Candace a little bit, but Candace is trying to stay below the radar. She knows that last season a lot of people hated her, so maybe she's trying to be the voice of reason because of all the backlash she received last year. I like Ascala, because Ascala, even though she's so quiet, she was calling people out. She even said Robin acts different around Giselle. And so it's one thing to be loyal to your friends. I understand that. But Giselle was just completely wrong in how she handled the situation with Wendy. And I didn't like that. So what do y'all think? Let me drop this link just in case anybody wants to come up real quick. This was going to be a very quick live because I'm a little tired. Is it showing? Let me see. Is it showing in the comments? I know some links before. I was watching Hood Life Chronicles yesterday and her link wasn't showing. YouTube is being so weird. So tell me what you all thought of the show. If you watched it, this one, it wasn't as good as last week's show, but it was still good. Like, I still enjoyed it. So if you want to come up and talk about the show, you can. Anything else that you guys want to talk about, let me know. Yeah, but those are my thoughts on the show. I know it was quick. All right, Queen of Cheesecake, I will see you. I'm about to get off here, but thank you for joining, Sharon. I was wondering why Candace has changed her tone this season. Yeah, I think it's because of all the backlash she received last season, and I know, well, she's still been going off the show, because I know she kind of went in on Jamel Hill. She definitely watches a lot of the posts about her, but actually on the show I can tolerate her. I wish last season her and Monique could have gotten along. I don't know what it was, why they just couldn't get past whatever was happening. Yes, please hit that like button and subscribe. So yes, in the Queen of Cheesecake, she's going to be my first moderator. I need to make her a moderator. My channel is still small. I'm still trying to grow, but I want to have at least one moderator, and the Queen of Cheesecake is going to be my moderator. And thank you so much, Queen of Cheesecake. But yeah, going back to Candace, it's refreshing. She's not irritating me as much. Those slaps gave her PTSD. They sure did. That dragging, and she was talking about drag me, and she definitely got dragged. Well, I was so upset with her last season, and I had people mad at me because I was happy that she got dragged. I couldn't stand Candace. I cannot, and she has my name. That's what's so crazy. Oh, you're welcome, the Queen of Cheesecake. Avio, she is quiet this season except for the confessionals. Yeah, she's going in on those confessionals. And I think her husband probably told her, yeah, don't do all that smart talking you do or during the show, save it for the confessional. I'm thinking he told her that because I know he used to get on her for going off on people. More like mollywop. Yes, she sure did get mollywop. And I was excited to see it. I'm not an advocate for physical violence, but when you get in people's face and you provoke them and you do all the things she does, it is so hard. And we as adult women, we should not be fighting, but it is so hard when somebody is running off at the mouth like that and you just have to sit there and take it and they're in your face. And I just don't know if I would be able to take it. My mother always told me if somebody get in your face, I have a right to like get their hand out of my face. So yeah, I would have been like Monique. I probably would have fought. I'm not even gonna lie. And I try to remain classy, but people push you to the edge and people write checks that they asses cannot cash. And that day, Candace wrote her a check that her behind could not cash. So yeah, this season, she's not writing a lot of checks. I am interested to see how this reunion is going to be after the ladies see all these confessionals. When she said drag me, those was fine. Exactly. Those was definitely fighting words. It's like, come on now. Like you saying drag me? Okay. Bet. So this episode was good. I definitely think that the ratings are going to be a lot higher than Real Housewives of Atlanta. The Queen of Cheesecake, if you can talk the talk, you should be able to walk the walk. Exactly. Candace can see she can be replaced. Yeah, definitely. That proves a point as to why she's quiet as well, because they sure did find a replacement for Monique. So maybe Candace is trying to secure her spot. What do y'all think of this whole video and this singing career that she has? I think she sounds all right. Am I going to buy her stuff or stream it? No. I think she can sing. She can sing, but yeah, I have to see the whole package, the video. You think the show will go more into a Scala? And that's funny the way you spelled her name. I don't think so. I think they're more into Mia. Ascala is like too quiet, even though she calls people out. And it's like she was brought on by Robin, and I don't know. I think somebody has more. You like with Wendy bringing her on, and hey, don't tell me, tell the people. I dropped the link for anybody that wants to come on. With Karen bringing on Mia, oops, and I almost deleted the link. With Karen bringing on Mia to the show, I think Mia has a better chance. Well, Mia has a what do they hold? Mia has whatever they hold for their show. So Mia is on the show. But I don't think Ascala is a strong enough person to actually be on the show. They have not told us anything about Ascala. Exactly. Alaska. Yes, Alaska. All these names. Yeah, I don't see them. They haven't focused on her at all. I think she will definitely remain a friend of the show. I don't even know it. Well, I guess she will have some other scenes, but it looks like all her scenes are definitely when they take these trips or whatever, this dinner or whatever that's going to happen where Mia throws some stuff at Candace. I want to see why her and Mia get into it. I'm in the bed watching. Oh, well, too bad you can't join. But I definitely want to see why Mia and Candace get into it, because it looks like they're going to be fighting and throwing stuff at each other. Mia, the question is, will Mia last after this season? Because Mia, at first I liked her, but she's told a lot of lies. And then she's creating a lot of unnecessary drama, like with the whole bitch comment saying that Wendy was a weak bitch. I almost feel like you said that, Mia. That's how you feel about Wendy. So it just seems interesting. I don't know if Wendy will make it. I don't know if Mia will make it past this season because of how it's just too much.
If they bring her back, I'll be shocked, but I can't see any of the wives really liking her. And when you think about it, the only person that likes her is Karen. But as soon as Karen gets in good with Wendy or gets back in good with Giselle, Karen may turn on Mia. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I want to thank y'all for watching. It's I know I talk fast. It's been a very long day today, but thank you for supporting me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Make sure you, if you have not subscribed, you like and comment and subscribe to my channel, The Candy Shop. Again, I am Candace. I want you all to have a good night. Bye-bye.
But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop. So this is my story time, The Candy Shop.